China, foreshadowing the invasion of Japan. Now, once upon a time, you could delay this by little shenanigans of non-aggression pacts. Yes, this was a workaround. Now, there's a new workaround, and it is the democratic path for China. You can approach Japan and offer them concessions for them not to invade you. And there are so many concessions, you can delay this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, practically indefinitely. While at the same time, you unify China. Are you about to see the wonkiest playthrough of China? The pacifist path. And it starts with end the military primacy, which is pretty much the democratic path. This message is sponsored by Raycon. With the Super Bowl and the Winter Olympics this month, there is no better time to get inspired, push harder, and upgrade your workout routine. When you're training consistently, the right gear makes all the difference. And I've been using Raycon Essential Open Earbuds, and they've changed how I work out. What makes them unique is the open ear design. With earbuds, you normally shut off with everything, but with these, they sit outside your ear canal, so you can still hear what's going on around you. And this is really great if you're walking or doing stuff, particularly activities where you need to be aware, like, I don't know, lifting weights or being on a treadmill. The perfect workout companion. As you'd imagine, they're lightweight. They fit in your ear in a way that you find the most comfortable. And when I've worn them walking or doing chores, they don't cause that inner ear pressure that you get from other earbuds. As you'd expect, it has multi-point connection, so you can connect to multiple devices simultaneously. For instance, if you want it on your phone or if you want your PC at the exact same time. Normally, that'd be bad for your battery life, but the battery life is solid, up to 36 hours with the charging case. I only found I needed to charge them once a week, whether it be in the gym or running errands or just working from home behind my PC. It's really nice not have to take them out when I want to like talk to my girlfriend or whatever, which some of the noise cancelling earbuds, you tend to have that problem and then you have to take them out and put them in. The essential open earbuds are here to help you go for gold. To maximize your results at the gym and push. Go to buy raycon.com/feedbackgaming. Open, get 15% off. Thanks for Raycon for sponsoring this video. An army is pretty good. But for the time being, we're going to move them all over to here and also consolidate. But you forgot this button was even here, right? To be fair with you, for the most part, this button is pretty bad because you don't have the ability to split, but you do have the ability to consolidate. Anyway, guns. Apply the Mayo. At the same time, just double down everything into guns. The economy will start in Wuhan. Nothing bad has ever come out of Wuhan, right? Let us begin. Focus on the economy, because that's what democratic nations are good for, right? All right, they're moved into position. We're going to consolidate now and exercise indefinitely to gain XP. Let's go. 5 speed. Let's go. All right, it begins. Your objective with this is to focus primarily on political power. This will allow you to vassalize and annex the warlords. At the same time, you can avoid another crisis by giving concessions to the Japanese, which we will do to delay their invasion. At the same time, we need to boost our economy, so we need to gain lots of additional political power. The vice premier is pretty good because he gives additional PP. Actually, this guy gives political power and he gives democracy too. Let's double down on democracy. Avoid another crisis. Here we go. So now you've got decisions to give concessions to the Japanese. And straight up, there are just 2 concessions that are just straight up freebies. See this one? Offer docking rights and airbase rights. Add 60 days to the looming crisis, which just basically means they're going to declare war on you. So freebie. There you go. 800 days before they declare war. Be aware there is a focus that Japan can go for that will shave off 300 days of this. So you need to always be above 300 days. Because at any moment, they might go for that focus and drop below, well, 0. Ironically, the crisis follows by a war goal against Japan. No, please don't invade us. Psych. We're going to invade you. Aha. One thing I love about the Chinese focus tree is you have the ability to be corrupt. And corruption has a benefit. It gives more political power. I guess it's kind of an authoritarian, autocratic rule. So you kind of want to sit on this corruption for as long as possible and gain as much political power, because more political power means more vassalizations, more concessions to the Japanese. Next up, more democratic support and stability. We're at 50% now. It's all coming together. Surprisingly though, you need democratic support from here. Go for this focus. Then you can start to vassalize the warlords by going for this focus. To gain more democratic support, you have to press these magical buttons, which also require political power. So to gain political power, you need to spend political power. It's like investing. You spend money to make money. All right, pro tip. Select this focus here. This makes the costs for boosting democratic support cheaper. You spend less PP to achieve your political goals. At the same time, there are a bunch of focuses that boost democratic support, like this one, and also this one reduces non-aligned. These are best done last, because boosting political support makes more of a difference in the early game. And the more pie chart that you control, the less support you gain overall. So it's best to get as much democratic as you can, then boost it at the end to get over the 50% mark. Extra political power. We are now gaining 1.89 political power per day, which is almost 2 political power per day while selecting national focus. Hey, that's pretty good. So top it off, not only have you got these concessions, but you also, if you click on the map, the decisions, you've all got concessions to give land to the Japanese. So for giving one state gains you 180 days, which is pretty good. All right, let's get some democratic support now. We're going to do this by pressing the magical buttons. This also gives 1% infrastructure construction speed as well. I think this stacks. I hate losing so much political power, but it has to happen. Ow, that hurt. At the same time, we can go for some military focuses because we don't want to go for the industry ones because that fixes our corruption. And we love corruption. Don't quote me. Right, we've got 35% support now. That should be enough. Says Japan is justifying on us, so we're going to give up resource rights. Give them the resources you're not using. In this circumstance, it's going to be that 1 tungsten. So 1 tungsten is still the equivalent of giving away 14 iron when it comes down to the amount of time it delays by. Yeah, so give up resources here, press the button, and that adds 150 odd days. Another one, give up the rights for tungsten in Hunan. That little flag there, can you see that? Means that these resources are being given free of charge to Japan. Resources that we don't need anyway because we're not even using. All right, let's do this one first. This gives 5% support. Okay, the event has just happened, which I just spoke about. The national focus has been completed for Japan, and it's shaved off a bunch of days. So that's notice why that timer has dropped radically. So now for the most part, just keep an eye on it. You don't want it to drop below, I don't know, 50 days, I guess. Because then you can press a magical button and then fix all your problems. Well, for a temporary amount of days anyway. A temporary solution, like a credit card. Boom. We have 50% support and 50% stability. Let's unify China under democracy. This video is now banned in China. Also, partial mobilization, costing me a lot of political power. Right, we are low on coal, which is an issue for China, as well as Italy, I believe. There is an easy fix, though. You just need to select an industrial concern that gives free coal that appears out of nowhere. Which one is it? The Shanghai Power Company, gaining plus 18 coal, which appears out of nowhere. Anyway, let's select a president. You like stability? I guess you're going to go for that top one. Also makes advisors cheaper, which is not very helpful for me because I've already spent all my money on advisors. This one gives nothing. This one gives construction speed for infrastructure and more political power. Do you know what? I'm not going to say more no to political power. Let's do it. Oh, and it's a lady. Song Ting Ling. Demand the regional inheritance. We are going to go down the political paths. The first thing I'm going to do, though, is do the shadow elements, which fixes your trade issues. No more opium. Come on, get off the opium. Also, top it off as well. We have a vassal in the south. You got that by event. So select subjects, import steel. But before you forget, 72 days left for the crisis. And we can offer some more resource rights. A little bit of steel there. Steel. Coal. Actually, the tungsten will be better. Because we're not using the tungsten. So I'll hand that over. Magically, we now have more days left. I wonder how viable this strategy would have been if China actually took advantage of it. I feel like this is a history meme, isn't it? Where nations stall the inevitable, you know? You can have the coal. Because I don't need coal anymore. I'm getting it magically from one of my industrial concerns. Look at all these Japanese flags. Here, 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 here. I don't want my resources. You can have them back. All right, another event. There's annex another one of the warlords. So 2 of the warlords have been annexed just by event. That means you've got more resources over here that you can hand over to the Japanese. It's 1938. Shouldn't Japan be at war with me right now? Not in this timeline. Another option for more political power. I'll take it. We are now gaining 2.19 political power per day. That's pretty intense to say we are selecting a national focus. Corruption has its benefits. And also, any option to join the United Front, always say yes, because we have the ability to make them vassals diplomatically if they are part of our faction. So it's something we definitely want to invest into. Now we're kicking out some guns. Be aware now at this point, you might have to invest into supply by going for trains. Yeah, let's do that now. Demand regional adherence. Oh, this is all about subjugating your faction members. Don't forget about Japan. Oh, yeah, they're coming in 104 days. Or are they? A cheeky peek at your army here, and you can see we're at 500,000. So just be aware. This may be a pacifist run, but that doesn't mean pacifism means we just keel over. No, we will be defending ourselves. Well, not right now, though. We're building up for something that might happen. Right, we're done. So, we have now the ability to subjugate members of the warlords. Oh, they don't even have to be a part of our faction. Well, you know, I never actually knew that. Anyway, let's begin. I think the 3 northern ones would be good. There's a lot of coal in the north. And Yunnan and the Guangxi clique would be useful as well. I'll be honest with you, this is annoying. See this? All the flags are the same. So what you want to do is right-click on them and it'll show you where that warlord is. We'll do Guangxi clique, the principles of the memes. The biggest barrier for me to go down this path at the moment is pressing these buttons. So just press them all. Yeah, the issue with these ones, don't forget about your looming crisis. So let's hand over the 3 steel here in Xi'an. 133 days. Nice. Next up, we want a spy network because this reduces the planning bonus of Japan. So sad to say this, but I think that war is going to be inevitable. Oh, here we go. Maximum command power increase plus 30. Professional army corps. I think it's been a long time since I've selected that one. Press the buttons to make more integration. More resources to hand over. Japan, you can have them. More resources. Downside now is you're losing a lot of steel because you're handing it all to Japan. You're kind of funding Japan's war industry here that will be later used against you. And pretty dark foreshadowing. Right, first option here to subjugate one of the warlords. Let's do it. Boom. 2 warlords to the south. So you're probably thinking handing over resources and giving up lots of rights to Japan is probably bad. But remember, at the same time, we're kind of building our base by integrating warlords. So it's not like we're not preparing for some inevitable clash, if you catch my drift. Also, another bonus. By delaying Japan's invasion of China whole, it's also making the warlords a lot stronger. They can plan their armies. They can do the national focuses. They can fix their army. In this case, look at this. All those bonuses they're getting. Yunnan, join the Republic. The Shandong clique, join the Republic. Hai Bai Shai Ha, join the Republic. Shaanxi. But there's not an option to join the Republic for you. I don't think you've got enough democratic support. So we'll go for the Shanghai Ma. Return to the Republic. See, this is the reason you needed all that political power. It all makes sense now, right? So there's got to be a point you've run out of things to hand over, right? Well, we can hand over the vassal states and give them to Japan. But this is just plain old bad. I mean, we're giving over their army, their full entire territory, not just one state. And we're also kind of creating an enemy that we're going to have to later fight anyway. So this is plain old bad. Don't do this. Alternatively, though, you can hand over states. 180 days for a single state. Be quite strategic of what states you hand over, though. Don't hand over states that are really good ones. For instance, I don't know. For instance, these southern ones here with the mountain ranges, they're going to be very difficult to take back. So my advice is don't hand those ones over first. And for some trucks, more warlords, become part of the Republic. 40% support for the communists to the west. This is probably the hardest one to take. And they say yes. So much blue. Only 2 left. Okay, next one I'm going to hand over is this northern one. This is a weird one because look at this. It's plains for the port. There's only 1 port. And also, once again, there's only 1 naval dockyard here, which I really don't care about. So, Japan, you can have that land. It's yours. Just got to wait another 180 days before you can declare war on me. What a trade. I've just realized that I actually don't need that bigger an army. I think we're going to start upgrading to the best guns. And we're going to focus on quality over quantity. So that means we can go for artillery as well. The reason I say this is all the warlords are going to subsidize my army and they're going to provide lots of really poor quality divisions, I suppose. If I request forces now, like 19, yeah, look at all these divisions, 15 from you. I've just realized my coastlines are always going to be guarded now. And then my pushing force will be my army. How many divisions? 107. Right, political power isn't a big deal anymore. So that means we can finally fix our corruption problems. It's only a problem until I say it's a problem. Yeah, the plan with you guys is you are just going to defend the coastline. Because as you know, Japan loves to naval invade and put you on naval bases only. All right, the final one is a unified China, kind of. All right, we'll ignore the commies and we'll ignore some of the land I've given to Japan, okay? But that'll be fixed in due course, right? Remember, it's 1940 right now and we're not at war with Japan. Is this working as intended? I don't think so. All right, this is the plan. This could backfire. 5 full armies, 24 divisions each. We've got the guns now. Then we make it slightly bigger. And then on the artillery on. Only issue now is, as you can see, the supply network is pretty bogged down. Need to make a lot more trains. But I think we should be able to catch up in a decent amount of time. Now, these divisions should have some fighting power behind them. They're not just cannon fodder. The question is now, do I keep stalling or do I keep going? I think I want to just push this as far as I can take it. I'm having a really fun time with this. I want to offer them Shanghai. only downside to that is I've lost the Shanghai Power Company. So I need to import coal. Hey, but it's worth it for another year of independence, right? So here's the deal. I've missed a part out of this story that I've not been telling you about. I've been a bit rude. This bar doesn't mean anything at this point. When you enter 1941, this is the end game. Japan is going to declare war on you any minute now. So there's not a lot you can do about that. It is what it is. Field Marshal front line. 2 armies here. 1 army here. And then 2 armies in the north. There we go. Justification. The Chinese Soviet Republic is declaring on us. So what's happening is they're the one doing the justification. So they're kind of working around the looming crisis mechanics. What you're going to do is with these guys in the south, you are going to attack. And these guys too. So you're basically closing the pockets. Ooh, I've forgotten about this pocket as well. This is leaving the north a little bit more exposed than I would like. But I can always counterattack. All right, they've arrived. The looks of things, they're not at war with any of the warlords. Oh no. Am I going to exploit this? It looks like I actually am. Yep, they're not declaring war on the warlords. So that means I can pick them off one at a time. Buy from Shanghai, north as well, and goodbye Navy, but I didn't want that anyway. And that's going to be a fat encirclement. Yep, rip, and that's a rip. Now I invite just specifically this warlord, because that means I can literally cherry pick where I want to attack next. And now they're isolated, and they're pretty much a goner. It's just that easy. And the attack power we've got right now is insane. To this day, the AI never declares war on vassal states. They just declare on the major and then they ignore all the vassals unless you bring them into the war, like, well, as I am right now. And then a final tank division and by Japan. Now in the north, bring the entirety of all my armies over. They're doing their naval invasion, but it's not really going to matter. And that's a pretty big pushback. Japan. They'll keep doing naval invasions. They'll keep losing divisions. And right now they've already lose a handful, so they're in a bad way anyway. Keep reforming your army, and I think we're in a position now we could counterattack in the north and do big damage. But I've got more time to prepare, so why not, right? Naval invasion, and they land. They're isolated because they don't have access to supply, and the AI is automatically repelling them and pushing them back into the ocean. And because there's 117 divisions, the swarm effect is massive. As now I can go back to the Shanghai Energy Company. You know, the option you've got here is you can just let Japan naval invade over and over again, lose their divisions, get weaker and weaker and weaker, and then they'll be in a position when you counterattack in the north, you're just going to completely demolish them. As it stands right now, they've lost 354,000 manpower to us. We've lost 40k. Yeah, I think I'm in a position now where I can counterattack, and I'll be in a really good position. Ooh, then again, 14 divisions. Then again, tell you what I will do is I'll wait for my surplus of guns to reinforce. I'll push the north. Okay, you can integrate the warlords. I'll be aware you need 300 political power, and you can do it the old-fashioned way by feeding them guns. There are also some decisions here that are very expensive that increase the autonomy by 365 over a year. Honestly, it's just cheaper and more efficient just to feed them guns. You got the guns, do it. Call to arms for all the warlords. Here you go. All seeing red. Everyone's in position. Whoosh. Now, supply is awful. I've tried to build some railways, but I think the south I could probably push quite easily. It's all a matter of pushing, breaking the river line, grabbing supply. No lie, doing actually a really good job of holding me back. I think we need to fix the supply situation and then top that off, dig in, and just let them keep hitting us over and over again. The classic AI strategy of bashing your head against a brick wall and hopefully breaking us down. The first 20 assaults don't work. Maybe the 21st assault would work. You never know. Interesting assault the AI has gone for here. Either strategic genius or an encirclement to come. Also forgot about if you build inside of your puppet nations, you lower their autonomy as well. So something to think about. All right. Well, the stalemate might be over now because Japan has gone to war with the Allies and the United States. I love the AI's attempt to make an encirclement, which kind of just looks like they're pocketing themselves. And I just keep pushing into this gap, maybe? Oh, 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 oh! Hey! Oh! Oh dear. You know what? Now I'm going to close this pocket immediately, but you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to let them bleed out. Bleed of supply. Do you know what, to make it even worse, what I could do is counterattack here and push. Because there's so many divisions locked in here, like 30 or 40. There's not actually many on the front yet. There isn't. That means I just get a free ride. Never thought this is the way this would end. Final pocket. There was at least 500,000 men in there. Some of them have already been encircled and some of them are on the front and not in reserves. You can't see the total amount. And that means they're all gone now. And that results in 2 million losses. Total 2.62. What are the numbers, Dave? Those are the numbers. Push! Okay, waiting for the white peace event now. Okay, throw out the invaders. Mission accomplished. Gains a ton of manpower. I never pay much attention to these faction missions. On secure strategic resources, gain an insane amount of resources. And it gains you 1 initiative point and 100 political power. Okay, win the war. Can do that one maybe? I think I have to have a peace conference for that one, so that won't work. Defeat fascism. Objectives are very ambitious and the rewards are very, very small. You must climb Everest. Your reward is a pat on the back. Achieve world peace. Your reward is 10 light tanks. Thanks, Paradox. Japan offers us peace. I always like to let this event sit on screen so I can encircle the final Japanese divisions just to end the war just a little bit earlier than usual. Is one. Feed the goose strategy. You are French, you will love this strategy. And the strategy is to pump it full of guns. Why have I no guns? Oh, I have no guns. Well, I suppose in this scenario, do I not even need these divisions? I don't, do I? Who am I at war with? Nobody. We've achieved world peace. Congrats, you've gained 50 political power for world peace. All right, all the guns. Once. Yeah, this will subtract 700 autonomy, which on hindsight is not really that much. I think they've nerfed this. This used to be a lot more. Lend-Lease will arrive in 9 days. Subjects. And sticking down at a decent rate anyway. Boom. And it drops down. Okay, it's only 500 points to go from warlord subject to annex. That makes it a little bit more manageable. I have to thank Paradox for that one. Send them 200 convoys, because this is something they'll take advantage of, being a landlocked state. What happens is everything you send to them will be sent back to you anyway when you annex them. Okay, we can't remove China because we have to change the rules of the faction. So, rules of the faction. Remove from the faction, remove that rule. We boot them from the faction. Yeah, I'm using new faction mechanics. But we can't justify or declare war on them because we're democratic. Right. The Chinese Soviet Republic. Chinese. This one allows us to declare on them. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to deploy my whole army again. Oops. All right. 1 battalion horse, deploy 101 of them. Convert to big division. There you go. Annex the communists. Delete their army. And that gives us all the guns back. Did it though? Did it though? I think it did. It did. And another one. Big one, this one. When you really focus and lock in on the autonomy reduction, you can actually get it down quite quick. Communism has to end. Now, this will cause... Oh, I thought this was going to cause a lot of uprisings. There's just one. Only issue right now is that they're locked into the mountains and it'll be very difficult to push these guys back. I say that, and it's actually kind of working okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Never mind. The Age of Mao is not happening. The head of the personality cult. And another one. Yunnan this time. The last few provinces are the hardest. The easiest way of wiping these out easy is CAS. However, our air force is a little bit lacking. Oh, we have machine guns, but no bombs. Aim for the province on the right, and then this one will have an encirclement penalty. Meanwhile, another one. Okay, this isn't working, so we're going to have to hold back for a second. Build command power, and build planning bonus, and make another push. They're building planning bonus as well. Actually, it might be better if I exercise to level 3 as well. Is supply bad? Yep, supply is dreadful. All right, trend to level 3. Max planning. Working on the railway. All right. Push. Damn. Well and truly dug in. I think I might have to research planes to get rid of... There is actually an exploit here. Do I do the exploit? Do I be dirty? I'm gonna have to be dirty, aren't I? So basically making a net to catch the Maoists. Anyway, another one. The south. So we're getting 3.61 political power per day. So every 100 days. Actually, less than 100 days. Every 90-ish days, 80-ish days, you get to annex one of the warlords. All right, now they've come out a little bit. Now we go back on them. Again! Whoosh! I wonder how many guns they've got. Doesn't say their stockpiles. Oh, no, yep, no. And there we go. Oh, that's win the war, apparently. You got the war support for that. Enjoy your +1 initiative, Dave. They have an aerodynamics and avionics facility. There's secret labs in the mountains. It's like something you'd hear about a villain, you know, a Bond villain. Another one down. Bit of free real estate in Tibet. If we're going to unify, we might as well go all the way, right? One more. 2 left. And the final one. That is a unified China. Ignore Macau and Hong Kong. A unified China. While I was waiting for the days to tick up, I also noticed this. See this? A republic restored. And this is the combination of all the bonuses I've gained through national focuses and decisions. Construction speed bonus 27%. Silk Road built. That's pretty impressive. The big takeaway from this is the longer you stall the war against Japan, the stronger China will get and stronger the warlords will get, resulting in a very fat, democratic China. Amazing. If you've enjoyed this video, why don't you think about becoming a member? Get access to loads of cool, exciting perks. If you are a member, my name is on screen right now. You're amazing. I love you. Have a good day, lads. Bye-bye.